faced some adversity last week, tough game. Sometimes that could linger. It did not this week, as you can tell. Our team was very prepared, very motivated, and played extremely hard once again. They've been doing that. As I mentioned, I don't know, go way back, partly halfway through the year, or after the start. I've just been very proud of the team and their identity, and playing extremely hard, and being prepared, and controlling the things they can control. Really responded well tonight. We faced adversity early. It's one of those deals where you're frustrated, you feel like you're in complete control, but they get a strip, fumble, touchdown, and that can flip momentum very easily. And our team didn't flinch, went right back out there and methodically took care of business. And that's the way we operate when we're at our best, and it was a total team effort tonight. So very proud of the group.
That moment when you go down 14-3, what do you think was most critical in that flip, the momentum not getting flipped there?
I think just the confidence to know that we were in good control and have to go right back at it. I think it would be easy to for some people to panic, or the guys to panic, if they didn't have confidence in what we were going to do. Because let's face it, we are methodical right now, and there's not a ton of explosive plays. Now we created some big yardage again and controlled the clock. However, when you go down 14-3, if you're not a team that has confidence in what we're doing, you could flinch right there, because points have been hard. But that wasn't the case, so we just kind of went back out there. There was plenty of time, and I think it was good. We were relatively clean. If I'm not mistaken, there was another turnover. Is that right? Rest of the game. So that's a big piece of it right there.
Mark, you've been talking about not flinching for years. Just how much of that is just an ingrained part of the culture?
Yeah, I think I hope that that's the way they are. We talk about it, we coach it. Our coaches, but our players, it comes from preparation. You're going to have confidence if you prepare the right way. And as I've said many times, we all know how important the outcomes are, and we all hang on to those plays that determine a win and a loss sometimes in very tight games. And those are brutally hard on fans, on people, and everybody in the organization. However, it's about us and our preparation of the team and their identity and the way they're doing things. For me, the ball bounce, you're going to win, you're going to lose. As I mentioned to the team, their life is that way. This game is that way. You're going to go through some tough losses, and it's brutal. But we cannot be defeated in our mentality, and I like that about this group.
How have Chris and Cavassier grown to be able to do what they did today?
I'll tell you, I noticed it today, a little bit of growth, and you probably did too. Just some of the runs they made today, I hadn't necessarily always seen. And you've seen flashes, you've seen them do some really good things, but today I saw a couple runs they kind of took over, and pretty determined, tough runs. And then also they showed some really athletic plays. I thought Cavassier, the one toss that he got, he showed speed, and then he showed agility and balance where he cut it up and turned it into a critical first down early. And then Chris with the couple runs where he ran so physical. The third down run, I think it converted to first down. I'm not sure if it was third down, but he put his shoulder down and showed balance and created that first down. I mean, those are some tough yards and some tough runs. So really proud of him.
I think that completing some passes probably helped open up things from how refreshing, I guess is the word. How nice was it to see Lynn be able to run the 2-minute offense right before half?
Yeah, that was. It was fun to see. It was good. It was critical for us to work on that and to do that and to convert on a passing down when it was an obvious passing down. And it was a big play. That momentum. You talk about that middle eight again. You talk about the last four minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half, and boy, that really dictated the game for us today. Getting the score right before half, and then setting the tone and momentum in the second half with taking the opening drive and getting a touchdown as well.
Mark, in a big picture sense, how remarkable is what Lynn has done?
It really is. You have to give him the credit that he deserves. You're right, because we're all sitting and watching this unfold through this season, and we kind of get tired of talking about it. You know, or y'all may get tired of writing about it, but you really have to give him some the credit he deserves, because it's not easy doing what he's doing, and it's not just some athlete back there, you know, just making plays. I mean, he's doing some amazing things. It really is, and again, it comes to really proud of Coach Grant, Coach Henshaw, all of our coaches, you know, the position they're putting him in, him understanding it, and then the reads and the things that he's doing. I mean, he's executing it. And then he has that toughness too. You know, you put him back there and he makes people miss, but he also lowers his shoulders and runs over people when he has to. So just you put it all together, and it's pretty remarkable, some of the things he's doing right now.
Mark, some of the you were able to get on film today that just haven't played a lot. How valuable is that?
Yeah, got a little sloppy there at the end. You know, we got a lot of guys in. You know, it got a little hairy there. I kind of gambled and put them in there earlier than probably normal, because if they score there in the fourth quarter, you cut it to a two. If they get the first down, they cut it to a two possession game there. With what, maybe 9 minutes or something, 8 minutes, they put a little pressure on it, but the defense got the stop, which was good, because I wanted to get those guys some quality reps, and offensively the same thing. Certainly at quarterback, that's why we were throwing it a little bit, getting Sawyer, getting the dust off him, and letting him get some game reps. Normally, I would be wanting to run the clock and get out of there. I have such great respect for Coach Mason and this program, so I would have liked to got out of there, but we needed the snaps. Our team needed it, so Sawyer needed to make some throws, and then it was really important to get Walker in there, and that's been on my mind, to get him in the game. So really proud of him and just what he's done and what he's meant to this program, and so I wanted to give him a few throws and get him out there, get him some snaps, and just see what he can do. He deserves it, and so that was good to see.
What's it do for team morale when we're able to get those guys in there? It seemed like everyone was really excited on defense. You got stuff there.
Yeah, it's really important, because that's what this game, through the season, it's so difficult. As I've mentioned a couple times, you take these young people, you take their hope away, and it's brutally hard. And some of these guys are just practicing, and we talk about it, and Jason always gives me some great tips and pointers, but you keep on sowing your seeds, keep on doing what you're supposed to do, and eventually, you're going to collect on that, and generally it's much later than you want it to be, but generally if you keep on doing that, it's going to be more than you want it to be, so that's hard to see for young people, and so that morale is real important, and it's important to get them in some games and keep their hope on. And that's why, through some tough losses, it's easy to cave, it's easy to give in, but our team hasn't done that, and we're creating a good identity, and we're not perfect, but I like the mentality of this thing.
What's it like? You're on defense on third down, on the road, but the crowd's getting loud.
Yeah, it felt good. It's always good. Thank you to the fans that showed up. As I mentioned throughout the week, we hear you on the road, and it was a great feeling tonight to see a lot of blue up there and hear them, and they made a difference, and our players really good.
Mark, how do you feel about your defensive depth at this point? I think Jamin was your top tackle guy today.
Yeah.
Younger out, just how much is that helping you?
It really helps us, and Jamin needed those reps, and he needed some reps when the pressure was on, and we got to continue to do that with him, because he's an athletic guy, and he's got great size and length, and there's a lot of little things he's still got to put together, but that'll come with some reps and keep on playing. But I feel good about our depth. I really do. We go fairly deep up front, and we really feel like we have some talented backers coming up. Inside we got to keep on creating some depth.
Mark, what
You
about
saw Bembry playing a little bit inside. If we could get him coming along there, that would really help us, bode well for the future. Because outside and across the front, and especially if we get Phil 6 year, you got some good depth coming up, and the guys that are playing a lot of snaps. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the offensive line, I know they like to run block, but
Yeah.
still, when the other team knows you're probably going to run,
Yeah.
how much have they embraced that challenge of we're going to be a grinded out, methodical team?
Yeah, they always do, and that's where some of that we were looking tonight, and some of the runs we hit on third down, you guys can see that where it helps you, because, you know, certain pressures and things that were coming, you know, we were looking at, and the offensive coaches were checking that from the sideline, but they still got to collect it all up and block it, but we split them for some huge plays tonight, and, you know, they always embrace that, and
Just
you
the
know,
job that Coach Schlarman has done.
yeah, just remarkable, you know, he really is. John is just amazing, to be honest with you. He, you know, had some treatment this week, and then he had to go back for another little procedure. I don't want to get too invasive in his business, but, you know, he doesn't want any attention, but he has to, you know, drive his own car down here on Friday, or have somebody drive him down here on Friday after another procedure, and he shows up at practice. We thought he was gonna miss it, but sure enough, we got here, and he pops in there and got the smile on his face like nothing's going on, and goes about his business. And you know, it's a really remarkable story what he's going through, and the job that he's doing. And you know, it can't help. It can't do anything but help, I would imagine, with these players, and inspire these players to see what he's going through. And you know, so they can't feel sorry for themselves, that's for sure. And John's done a great job, and so has the O-line.
Obviously, last year you had an elite defense, but in some ways, is this year almost as rewarding and everything you lost on that side of the ball, and how well
It definitely is. Very pleased. Just gave all those defense coaches a big hug and thanks, because I think they're doing a really great job with some inexperienced guys. But as I mentioned, you know, early, I mean, you know, we're going to go through some issues. I mean, it just happens. You know, you have to make some mistakes, you know, to get the growth and experience. But we have talent, and you know, it's getting better and better. And you know, very pleased, because there's a lot of players out there that are going to be playing the next couple of years. So you know, I like to see that, and appreciate the work that those guys are doing.
You guys dominated third down and red zone. 8 of 11, 4 of 4 inside the 20, and I know last week that was something. And this season, you guys have mentioned a lot. We've got to punch it in.
Yeah, I mean, it just, you knew that coming off last week. I mean, that was the story of the game. You know, we needed to make some critical plays in critical moments, and this week we did. And you know, again, proud of the coaches and the players, and having a mindset to get that done.
Okay, last question, anybody?
How do you keep AJ from getting discouraged?
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. You know, he'll be all right. He just, you know, you have to be able to handle that type of adversity, and you know, he'll be back in there next week, and he'll be the starting running back and taking the snap on the first play of the game when we're in there offensively, and he needs to just get right back at it. And we have a lot of confidence in him, and he'll be all right.
All right, thanks, guys.